And Nadeau Sensei, you are on. Thank you very much. Good evening.
I'm ready, sort of.
You're on.
Almost ready. Hi. Just a reminder that we continue using a pattern sort of like that. Thinking at a particular level, settling down, you begin to feel, more settling down, finer feeling. We can even use the word after a bit, sense feeling, moves into sensing, and then we can continue with that finer dimensional level of sensing. Okay, so we're going to use that, of course, in helping to bring out the self. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, so tonight I thought we would try to have a lot of open mic and get your sense of self. Now, there'll be, I'm not sure, we'll make an approach on it. So at first, let's say between wherever you're at, whatever level of you we get to in our prep, and self, we'll call it up, so to speak. So your sense of self. Now, at first, we'll know that there's some veils. Could I use that word tonight? There's a little distance, veils. So a sense of self. And whatever you sense at that first level of that approach. And then easy will settle again. And now what do you sense at a finer level? What do you sense? So one of the veils has dropped away. So you got a little clearer. It's like looking at a painting and there's a few veils in front of the painting. So you can't quite make it out. But as you take one veil away, start to see a little more something there. Take another veil away, start to see something more there. So that's how I'm using the word veils tonight. Veils would also be the energy wrap that we're in. Okay, we're all in a certain way cocooned, a lot of energy. And as we easy and settle, those energies begin to unwind. Okay. And as there's better levels of unwinding those energies, potentially the self can make its presence known more. Okay. But again, as we make this kind of approach to self, your first call off on self, there's still some windings, of course, but we're a step closer. Remember, everything's kind of a percentage game. Okay. So what's your sense of self? Whatever you sense, and I'll use a couple other words like you get a feeling when self is more present. I might ask for qualities when self is more present. What seems to be the qualities that self has or radiate from self, whatever. So I might try a few different words. Where are we? Okay, let's do a basic standing and a basic settling. We'll be following the brain map pattern a bit. Settling and acknowledging the centered energies, circled energies, centered energies. We'll hang out there for a little bit just to settle in, get to a good level or a better level. We might do maybe a Ya Yi Ma Mi chant just to get to a better level. Okay, as they harmonize, it represents a better level. Okay. Are we okay so far? Yeah. Okay. And stand. All right, there we are. Yes. Okay, basic presence. Now, again, watch out for the idea. I know I'm present. I'm not in Oshkosh. I must be here. I know that. Okay. The presence we're talking about is experiential presence or feeling. So easy out of thinking level, more to feel body presence, or body presence begins to feel itself. If I'm not interfering with it, yeah, it has a chance to feel itself, body presence, at this level of being present. Okay, so far? Ah, ah. If we were to continue with just basic presence, uh, for me, that would be a centered down time. For you, I don't know. You could be a circular type. That's good. Now, with a sense of a better dimension of being present, easy. Sort of trading in the old, here comes the new of the finer dimension of being present. Yeah, I feel more sensitive in my skin. Like if you were to grab me, I might pick up the grab right before you actually touch grab. Maybe, for example. No big deal, right? Easy, present, thinking, feeling, finer level of feeling, continue settle, sensing about being present, sensing. Okay. One trick when I bring in a new word, like, okay, now let's try sensing with this. Oh, they bounce back into the idea. What does that mean or something? Easy. So if you bounce out to idea, just come back, back to feeling, finer sensing, being present. For example, here in being present, I feel some relationship with the space around me, as if the space around me is present, as if the space around me is a something, whatever all those words mean. Okay, you come up with your own words. Oh, okay, we're settled enough. Let's double check the energies. What we're going for here is the harmony between centered energy, circled energy, centered energies. Okay, so let's just acknowledge being centered in this circular situation, world, universe that you're in. Find your own words. Okay. So there's two forces, two big pieces here, center and circle and center. Remember, all of us probably have a preference. Again, I'm a centered first guy, historically. And then I'm catching up on the circle part more and more. Some of you are more circular. Okay. What should we do here? Okay, circle energies. Let's say they move in and they rebeat back out. Okay. So there's a beat in and a beat or a flow, find your own word, out. This is the energies of the situation. They come in, boom, and they rebeat back out. Now, after a bit, don't stay at the same level of the rebeat. Infer, here's my sense of things now. And sort of a downtime, in time, and now it's rebeating. I infer it's rebeating at a finer dimensional level. Okay, it doesn't have to be the finest of the fine, but better than what preceded it. Is that okay? The energies of the circle come in, When they rebeat out, they're a finer vibrational flow. Finer vibrational flow. And sometimes I'd hang out there for a while, repeating myself at this level of finer vibrational circular flow. Okay. So I started to feel more at home there, kind of okay with that sense of things. All right. We have to do it fast because we're on a short time show. So if I do 3 of them, I would expect you to do 5 minutes of them or something. Really get the flavor of it. Okay, so a certain amount of circle in harmony. Now I'm going to check the center. In this case, I use an upflow, downflow. Energies are moving after a while, spiraling up and down. And the energies moving in there makes up a character. The circle mixed up a character. By doing the center, the character tends to be more, have a better potential for depth. His groundedness or sense of depth is much better. Not to say a circular type couldn't have some depth, but the centered one would tend to really have the potential to drill deep. Well, since I used the word once, roots, go for the roots. Okay. When he said roots, he didn't mean the 1 inch under your grass lawn roots. Root for him was something more at the base of the universe. The roots at the base of the universe was what he was talking about. Just go deeper. Okay. So energies up and down produce a better center mix. We could use the word character. There's a character on that center. And the character in relation to his circle that's been established at a level of balance or harmony might feel, oh, I feel more comfortable in this situation. Oh, I have a better sense of the situation. Where the situation before might have been, after a while, say, oh, there's more openings in the situation. I can see the opening, so to speak. So finer dimension of situation, finer dimension of the center. Okay. And whatever character is there. Oh, where are we? Hot out here today. Heat wave. What about for me, I'm going to use ya, you, yeah, yo for center, mommy, moo, memo for circle. Just using the vibration.
With a sense, after a while, they're finer vibrations. That they're trying to be in accord. There's a partnership between those two great forces of the partnership. What we're doing is trying not to interfere with the partnership. Okay. What do I have to do to let the circle to the center and allow the center to the circle? Okay. If I start to try to think about it or figure it out, I'm interfering. If I'm critiquing myself, I don't think I'm doing that very well, or whatever, I'm interfering. Okay. So, center, yeah. Radiates outward, making a touch on the circle. Circle picks that up and responds. Mommy, moo, memo. Once you get the sense of it, you can run those sounds on faster, but mommy, moo, memo. Reverse it, mommy, moo, memo. Center. Response, yeah, you, yeah, yo. So you can work it in combination you want. As long as we're trying for a finer dimension where those two can So when those two
Ugh. More than hold hands. See, when I said the yayi is making a touch on, hey, lady, I'm interested in you. She responds, okay. Oh, you're not too bad looking. You're like maybe an okay guy, and back and forth. And as they get finer dimensionally, their relationship will go from just being aware of each other to holding hands, dating, get more, head into a marriage, really starting to blend with each other. Oh, sensei, you like OSensei stuff. Oh, sensei used the word intimacy. That was a hard word for him because in the Japanese culture, apparently intimacy is, I had to sense, was not a word of that culture. Okay. And then he said, in the West, you think you have more intimacy, but you're a little loosey goosey with it. Okay. Now, to confuse the issue, he said, by the way I'm using the word intimacy is neither the way the Japanese would use it or the Westerners would use it. Okay. Which suddenly catches my attention. Let me hang out with the word intimacy, or as I play this circle to the center to the circle, back and forth or reversing it, whatever, that there's a sense of the energies more than touching, beginning to share, more than sharing, and try to get a sense of what he was trying to present with intimacy. Intimacy. Okay, well, yeah, I know what that means. And what was his experiential sense of that word? Huh? I don't know. I have to hang out with it and see if it will explain itself as these two forces overlap, whatever the word, interact with each other. So they're more than attracted to each other. We know there's that. We know they're trying to help each other at a little bit better level, at a real tight level. They kind of, who are you? Get off my case. I don't like you either, kind of thing. As you get settled, finer level, they start to talk nicer. Okay. They start to help each other. Okay. So I make a joke there. If she really loves you, she won't let you go out of the house with shaving cream still on your face. Okay. Or your zipper open or something. Right. If she lets you go out that way, maybe a divorce is approaching. Whatever. That's my little joke on it. Where the hell am I? Now, as these energies harmonize, okay, there'll be levels of balance, okay, where it could feel good, could be, I don't know, a pleasant sense, could be a sense of beauty, could be a sense of calmness, whatever. I like to look at that stuff just as indications of a certain level of balance. Okay. And at each level of good balance could be something right there in the middle where they come together and breed. Something will show. So I like to pause on the good level of balance. And one game I play is who's the character here now? I got a great mom and dad. Okay. He, she, male, female, yin, yang. Now, who am I, the character? Okay. Better the parents, better naturally the character. Okay. Just to get a sense of that level of balance. How long do I stay there? I don't know. A little while to enjoy it. What's that mean? A minute? 3 minutes? I don't know. No set rule here. But then I want to continue. So I trade all that in, inferring a finer dimension And there's a finer dimension of circle, center, center, circle, more harmony there, more better interchange. Okay. And there'll be a certain point there where you say, whoa, this harmony feels like, whoa, it's really blended or it's really harmonious or it'll click. Okay, I can almost feel it click when they're centered to the circle and circle to the center, da, dee, da, whichever. I can almost feel it click at a certain level of balance. Okay. And then again, I hang out. One game is who's the character here? Experience character at that level. That's where I came up with the Bobby, Robert, Nadeau, Sensei dumb pattern. Okay. Now, so you don't get confused. The self itself is not of those things. Okay. So we're going to need some little bit of discrimination. Okay. Because early in the game, you're going to get a nice level of harmony. And you're going to say, oh, that's self. No, it's a nice level of harmony. Very nice. You want to hang out there? Go for it. It's great. But that's not the self. No. Through that, let's call it a curtain of that harmony. Self is there someplace. Self is behind it. Okay. So I don't want to confuse the drawings and the finer drawings with the paper that's there. So the self is its own thing, it's its own piece. Okay. And I don't want to confuse it with finer energy setups. Did I say that okay? Yeah. Okay. So some type of discrimination, and you get that just by funning around and playing. Oh, where are we? Okay. I like to use, and I'll explain it better on another time. I like to use a sense of the self when I balance, trade all that in, or a downtime, or a hell of a good clearing, or it could be all dark. And boom, through that, the self begins to show. I'd like to have the self come up from under to be present. I have reason for that. There's reason for my madness, which I don't want to get into heavy right now, but I will come around on it another night. We'll call that positioning. Okay. See, God, am I going to drift off? A lot of tendency of selves to be upper aware. To show that, I might show a body with a string to a balloon. Okay. Right. And that's a self. Okay. But what we want is the self present here and now with its own aliveness, not the energy aliveness. Again, let's discriminate here. To be present here, in the presence, in the here and now. Or again, OSensei, don't go anywhere. It's here. It's here. Okay. Yeah, it's fire up there. Don't go there. It's here. And after a while, a fullness of here will include there and there. It's a fullness of here. Am I getting lost? Okay. So anyway, I'd like that sense of as balancing through that level of balance. And I'm going to change my focus, not a good word, to self. Okay. And play the game that trading in all those energy and that balance and whatever character and qualities, all that stuff is a downtime trade in and self. Okay. Right. And then after a little bit, I'm going to ask you what your sense of self is. Might try a couple other words. You get some feeling when self is close by, so to speak, or is showing the more of itself here. Okay, what should we do here? What should we do here? Are we okay so far with all those words? Didn't lead you too far astray or anything? Okay. Again, another day we'll come back on the importance of positioning. It's a bit of a lost art, I would say. Okay, settling, starting to bring that basic, settle, settle. This place where things are more in harmony, where if we were chanting, it would sound like, whoa, they're really in harmony, wow, kind of thing. Okay, that sensing level place. Okay. Now, what should I say here? Everything you're aware of, all of that, that's nice, but I'm interested in self right now. I'm going to trade all that in, or downtime, if you would, with that. And as it opens, self will take central stage. So here I'm inferring that there's a little more presence of self in doing that little game. Okay, I'm inferring that. And then I'll play the percentage game. I'll hit it again, do it again. Okay. Amy Florida said, talking to her on the phone, she said that during the downtime, it was a very alone time. She doesn't have family anymore, lives alone, house, anyway, very alone, very alone, very alone. But herself started to show more and more. Okay, so herself was showing quite present and clearer and clearer through that year. Okay, yeah, kind of course. All this quiet sound, clearing the stage, and here comes self. Okay, you got that sense. You got the sense of how I move my hands and why I'm doing it that way. Okay, again, settle. Yes, feeling. Settle. If you're still thinking about anything, no, we got to settle. Okay. My flavor of all that center circle energies and all that stuff. Okay. All of that, down timing, trading in. And here comes self present, taking central stage. Of course, I don't feel anything yet. It's not happening. Come on, people. Don't get heavy on me. We're playing a game here. We're playing a percentage game. Come on. Everything trading in, shifting the focus backward from all the energies and the character and all of that's being traded in, and the stage is clear for self to be more and more present. Self. Okay, again, a little early in the game, but open mic this. What's your sense at this level? Okay, remember there's a lot of veils probably, or some veils between wherever we're at and the more of self. Take it for granted. It's a percentage game. Again, open mic. At this level, sense of self. Anybody have a sense of self? Sure. However it's presenting to you.
And if anybody would like to share their sense with Sensei, please just speak up.
That says Chip.
I don't need a name even, just say it.
Capability.
What's your sense?
The place where all capabilities come from. It's the thread that goes through all the dimensions.
Okay, so I'm inferring self said, I am very capable. That's what I'm inferring.
Right.
Okay, that's how I'd like to word things.
That's the character, huh?
Huh?
That's the character, the capable character.
Yeah, probably. At this level of finer energies, there's a character, and I'm capable as hell. Could be.
Okay.
Again, we have to learn to discriminate.
Okay.
Okay. And to recognize the difference between those earlier voices
Mhm.
and self's present, self's whatever. So I won't say yay or nay. I'll say, okay, fine, whatever. We'll see as we continue. It's not a yes no game, really. It's a percentage game. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
And again, everybody, trade in time, whatever, everything in your world, trading in. On the rebound, it's not a finer energy. Now we're shifting our focus backward to the self, taking the whole stage, being present. Somebody, sense of self.
A
Balance.
soft, clear presence.
Okay. Soft, it's kind of, it's clear, and a sense of it being present. Okay, good. Somebody? There's a female voice. Go.
With balance, a relaxing breath.
Okay, but you're on the energies right now. Okay. The breath over there is relaxing and things are balanced. It's like, yeah, but self is not of those energy things. Again, I said it wasn't a yes no game, but I got to jump in. Yeah, that's the stuff showing balance and the finer. There's a better breathing. Yes. Self. Bear with me for a while. Somebody?
Available support.
Okay, with the sense that it might be saying, we'll see when we get closer to it. When it's more present, I support you. I support the world you're in, your character in the world it's in.
Yep.
Ba-dum. Very supportive. Okay. Yeah.
There's a sense of more of whatever the character, the I, whatever, is more on the receiving end of what is, as opposed to being in charge or in it's a shift.
Okay. Okay, so I would hear like the self maybe trying to say, as we take down a few more veils, maybe trying to say, hey, I'm the thing here. I forgot how you worded that one, screwed up. The body and the situation, the character and all that stuff. I'm something different. I forgot what you said, so I just screwed it all up. Somebody?
Field of radiant calmness.
Okay. Calm and okay. I use the word, it has its own energy. Reason I want to bring that word up, if not tonight, eventually, the self is alive onto itself. Not to confuse that word alive with everything in the universe is alive. Yeah, we know that, but I'm putting it just on to the self. Self is alive onto itself and aware of itself. Mm-hmm. Aware of itself, it's alive onto itself. That's like it's a beat with itself. Okay. And what's been lost is a lot of the experience of that aliveness of the self. We'll go into that another time when we play with positioning better. Okay. Going back to positioning, the balloon awareness of self type might not readily catch the aliveness here. When OSensei stood there, oh my God. Whoa. Okay. Now we say, oh, he had a lot of energy. Yeah, but at OSensei's level, it was self radiating out, as Jesus said. There's this radiation. I say alive. He used a different word there, but you get the sense of it. Okay, so we're heading that way again. Percentage game, and at first, because there's veils, so to speak, between where I'm at and self that's here. The best you can do. Okay. Anybody before we do a couple more bits?
It absolutely
Vulnerable.
knows, no doubt.
Okay, no doubt what?
It knows. It's like, I know, not I believe. It's I know, and there's no doubt in it.
Yeah. Yeah. And you'll bump into words similar if you read some different kinds of spiritual stuff or yogic stuff or whatever. Hush and know that I know. Yeah, it has a little different tonality and what you're catching. Again, discrimination after being say, whoa, that's a different thing than I know. Kind of thing. Thank you. Somebody.
Let go.
Who's letting go where? I mean, yeah, but where are we? See, to get here, I have to let go of all the shit I'm hanging on to. Easy now, don't let it go. But he let it go now, though. Easy. That's the beginning of settling down. Following that now. Let it go. Let it go. Let's do better than let it go. Let's trade it all in. Let's downtime. Okay. And
That's it.
so something can show. Something essential, something that's here. Elusive, but it's here. It's here. It's here. Okay, so I don't understand quite where you're using the word let go. I didn't say it's wrong. I just couldn't figure where you're on.
No,
my
Sensei,
map.
Sensei, you said it exactly the way I imagined in my head. So that was perfect.
Okay, and don't imagine in your head. Sense, experience, imagine. Sense, imagine. Huh? Not imagine in your head. I know it's a dumb thing, but the words can be kind of important. In my head, I imagine. I'm saying when you get finer and finer, you imagine and see things and experiencing things in a sensing level. Okay? Right. So.
Hi.
Picking hairs, is that what they call that? What they call that? Picking, we're jump on a small thing. Nitpicking, here we go. Okay. No more
Splitting
nitpicking.
hairs.
Splitting hairs.
Whatever. Okay, we got it. Now, where should we go here? Yeah. Bring me up to date. Listening came up by a couple of people, so let's use that word. Listen. What we're talking about here is listening to hear the voice, the present voice, if you would, of self. Okay. So that's a good approach. There's a lot of chatter, a hell of a lot of chatter up here. Still chatter, da, 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 da. Oh, I felt this, I felt that, and I feel good. Okay, good. Chatter, 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 chatter. Of course, everything talks. Finer sensing, finer sensing, finer sensing. Now, in listening, you might hit a place of very fine balance where it's very silent or something. Okay, now I don't stop there and say, that's self. Okay, self has a voice, for lack of words now. Just being silent to me is not self, but it's a good prep or a good set or a good, okay. Now, through all this silence, on stage, self, the aliveness of self, Okay. And that word aliveness takes me a few beats. I get a sense of self. And then it automatically says, I'm alive, kind of thing. Oh, that's right. Aliveness of self. It's alive onto itself. And then that's where Tija came up with, and it radiates. Okay. Unless he was at an energy dimension, and you have a character there, and in an energy dimension, the energy guy can have a lot of outward kind of flow, glow. So again, discrimination. All right. So I can't tell the difference. Well, as you hang out and play, you will discriminate. It'll become obvious to you. Okay. All right. So where the hell are we? Listening. I brought up Samuel's name last week because he mentioned how one game he plays to practice listening. He goes out in the woods, gets off the trail, goes into nowhere woods land. He looks around and says, well, should I go that way? That looks like it's feasible. Or that way. That way looks harder. And then he listens. And he's practicing letting the self that's present talk, make itself known, come up with your own words here. But that's his practice. He sets up a game where it could be on, maybe that way, maybe this way. Self. Self. What's your sense of the best way to go? What's your take, self? So I love that he plays games. I thought that was a cute game. For Samuels, that's a good one. Might not work for some of you. You don't want to go out in the woods to get lost. Okay. Okay. Listen. Again, there's a lot in the old spiritual stuff, all different schools of something like hush hush. That's my word, but be still and hear. Okay, they could get fancy with hear the word of God or something. Get no fancy here. It's all right, but it's too big a word right now. But hush, be still and listen. Okay. And then to be able to discriminate. Well, I don't know what I'm listening for is not the voice I'm listening for. Okay. That's a dumb obvious. I'm just trying to make a point. Later, you'll be able to discriminate. If you hear this screaming voice, say, I'm tired, I want to go get a milkshake. That's not the voice, okay? Right? Again, dumb one. But you will learn to discriminate. There will be no question after a while about, ooh, self. Okay. Its definiteness with itself, its presence with itself, its aliveness of itself will get more and more distinct with funning around. Okay. What would those sensei say here? Continue. Use the word refine. Keep refining. We could use that. I'm not sure exactly how he used it, what part he was refining, but we could use it here with there's a certain amount of self present. I can sort of almost hear it. I can sort of sense it. Fine, continue trading everything in. Self. And as we do those beats, the more of self can begin to show its presence. Its aliveness will be clearer. Its voice will be clearer. Its way it radiates will be clearer. Stuff like that. Okay. Again, for me, a percentage game. Did I lose you? Did I lose me? Where the hell are we?
Sensei, can I offer something here?
Yeah. Who's that?
Yeah. So I hear this kind of listening. Yeah, this kind of listening is not listening for a thing. It's kind of listening, listening to space, and then trusting what emerges in in that process. So if you're listening for a thing,
Yes,
your mind is
definitely
already
not.
fixated on
No,
something.
if I'm listening for a thing, a car just drove by. Did you hear it?
Yeah.
Pretty loud. I'm not listening for a thing. Yeah. Now I'm gonna ant you a little bit here. Did you say empty? What did you say?
No, I didn't say empty.
What did you say?
Well, I said listening to space, just listening to the
Okay.
space. Yeah.
All right. For me.
Yeah.
I'm jumping on TV right now. For me, first we'd have to be careful of space, of floating upwards. So that would be the first thing.
Not spaced outness. No.
Yeah, don't get spaced out with this. OSensei said present. That was his main thing. Hey, people, this is great, but this is truer. So that's why I'm bringing up this approach. That's why I'm bringing up the aliveness factor of it. Yeah, where it'll, you'll experience it somehow or other. Just keep playing the game. I might space. I might have a sense of, oh, there's a clear space.
Yeah, I like clear space. Yeah.
Okay. And again, I wouldn't say, oh, clear space itself. I like to push on it a bit more. Okay, that's me. Clear space. Oh, great. Trade it all in. The curtains at the theater are being closed. And here is self on stage fully. Okay, so I'd like to go through certain things. Is Tom on? Tom, you on tonight?
Yes, there I am.
There he is. Come on in.
Okay. Here we are. I'm on my stairs. It's cool down here. It's so I can't. I'm down in the downstairs on the stairs.
Good move, Tom. Good move.
Yeah, I can't.
See, I'm gonna put you on the spot, maybe.
Okay. Sure.
Quickly, you're cool. Quickly go to that place where it's home. Familiar place.
Hi.
Of course, comfortable because it's home.
Hi.
Probably a lot of rest and potential regeneration. Possible, whatever. A very nice level. Okay. Now, I would say that's great. Along those, great. It's like having a summer cabin. Go ye and enjoy. Having a drink on the deck with your fishing pole into the river, whatever. It's home for you. But again, I wouldn't call that self. I say all of that. I'm at a good level. Now through all of that, so I'm kind of like closing the curtains again, or dark or downtime type of clearing and self. Okay. So I'm making self not part of how the universal structure works. It gets a little tricky because the universal structure, as you know, is very beautiful, finer dimensional, be beautiful, peaceful, caring, loving, fantastic. And the character there will go, whoa, this is pretty cool. Okay. So for me, that's all the drawings on the paper, finer and finer drawings. Okay. I'm interested in the underlying one, self. Okay, so that's what I'm asking you guys to do. And even if I'm wrong, it doesn't hurt you to do that. You see, I'm not saying whatever is not self a certain way I am, but Yeah, let's double check. There's an honesty in creation. You're going to be honest. Yeah, you don't want to start bullshitting you in the creation or the creation or something. But it shouldn't be a big deal to say, hey, this is pretty cool. I think this is the end of it all. I've arrived. Well, okay, fine. But then why not trade it all in and see? I don't like the word see. And pick up if there's something else there or something more there. Why the hell not? Okay? That was kind of almost pleasantly said for a Nadeau line, no? Oh,
Absolutely.
oh,
Thank you,
who's up?
Tom.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Tom. Again,
Comment if you want one.
okay.
We were talking earlier about refining, and that word, and you weren't sure how OSensei used that word, and of course I have no idea how OSensei used that word. But what, for me, I feel like refining, moving from coarse to finer,
Of course.
is the most consistent principle I see at work.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's like our first basic. Got him in a Bobby and a pissed off Bobby. Okay, settle, easy. Energy's a little bit better here. Now it's a Bobby that's not so PO'd. Continuing, it's a Robert who's kind of cool. Da, 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 da. Technique doesn't work very well. I'm missing now and I can't seem to get it. Okay, let's settle. Da, 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 da. And then we do allow the energies, the harmonize, eat out, whatever. And we notice the next move is, whoa, that's better. What'd you learn? Oh, yeah, ground, whatever. But not, I learned that at this level, that character has better ground. The actual experience of it. So anyway, yeah, this is our basic. So thank you, yes. Okay. Self. Okay, we have to, we're gonna eat up time here. Easy. Okay, let's play with the listening part. Okay, we'll try a couple other approaches. Easy. Trade it all in. Everything's being traded in, whatever. And clearing the decks, open stage, self. Self is present. Self is alive, present. Okay. Easy. Listening. Self. You have to prod it a little bit. I'm not sure what that is. I'll have to fine tune that another time. But I say, so say something. Come on. We'll fine tune that, what that was about. But what I heard, I forgot what I heard. See, I'm out of that place now. A lot of caring. It's just a strong feeling of, I care for you, talking to Nadeau and his world. I'm self, I care for you. Somebody?
Power.
Huh?
Power like extraordinary power.
Okay, a lot of power. Yeah, as we continue with the aliveness factor, and I'll lay this out better another time. First, the sense of aliveness. Then later, I want to get into the potential of its core. There's going to be a lot of cores along the way. The core of the self. So when I hang out with some self, if they're a little more advanced selves, there'll be this a ball of energy, this glow from their core. So I can kind of spot who's who's still in grammar school, who's in high school, who's in college. Just the present. Okay. When OSensei went into passed over, or he hung out in the astral planes to teach there for a while, 50 years our time, but he was hanging out. They knew he was hotsy-totsy. Okay. They knew he wasn't the new kid on the block. This thing is so apparent after a bit that even in a finer astral plane, whoa, he stood out. They were referring to him as the master very quickly. Oh, you mean the master? Oh yeah, he was that way. Okay. So yeah, something that the continuation of the aliveness factor. So as you continuation of that is where I would go with it. Okay. Listening. Anybody? Self, speak to us. Come on. Same thing, a lot of loving, caring. Kind of a sense of helping to guide, align the character-centered circle. As if it's a guide on, is what I heard. Yeah, I guess that's when we say, oh, I don't know what to do. I'm sort of lost. That's when we do that kind of thing. Self, I need some help here because I don't have the foggiest what to do. I'm sure with 50 people out there on this particular class, that you had that happen where there was an inner sense voice that was right on the button. Okay. Anybody listening? What are you hearing? Come on, selves, talk to us. Don't screw up my class, selves. What do you
Self
think
has
you
no
hear?
horizon.
Huh?
Self
What
has
did it
no
say? You see, you're
horizon.
talking about it. Talk it as if you're self. What did self
Okay.
say? Yeah,
Self
I think
said-
that's good practice, by the way. Oh, it said, that's okay. But self is saying, I care for you or whatever. Go.
Like a
Okay.
father.
His turn.
Self is saying, I have no horizon.
Is that inferring unlimited?
Yes.
I said, hey, I'm big time here. Yeah. Okay. Cut somebody off. Female voice. Who dat?
Hi, Sensei.
Where's my female voice? I heard her.
Okay.
The Father's Day comment?
Is it working?
Not Father's Day, like a father is what I felt, heard.
Did the female voice, I think right here. That is a female voice.
The female said that she felt like a father. Self was a father.
Yeah. It's another whole discussion, but yeah. Now in the human level, you say, oh, my father's talking to me. But we're playing with self here. So maybe your father loves you, and if he's passed on, he's still around. Or if he's still around, I doubt if it's your father talking. So it has a fatherly voice. I tried to clue you in as a possibility there when I said, kind of, what if fairy godmother is yourself talking? Yeah, that's a certain tonality sense to it. So it's not far off. Anyway, where the hell are we? Was that Mike trying to say something? Who was that?
That was Mark's car phone.
Mark.
Mark, are you still there?
G'day. Yeah, I'm still there.
Go
ahead, please.
New Zealand, Mark. Okay.
Yeah. I was just gonna say.
Wait. Let me explain to the people. When you hear yeah, that's a New Zealander. Okay, you're on.
It was just for me. It was just saying, trust me, I'm here.
Okay, that's cool. Isn't that cool? Trust me, I'm here. I'm here. Okay. Now, as we continue the beats, then it has the possibility of showing more and more and more of itself. I have to use people kind of measurements to get this across. Okay, is that all right? That's the best way I can word it. It's here, but we have to sort of click in and get a bit of a line up and give it space. Clear out all the no of the beautiful creation we're in. There's nothing wrong with that, but listen to the voice of self. Do a little clearing or change our channel. I don't want to hear the energies of the situation right now. I don't want to hear these energies right now. I don't want to hear what character Nadeau lineage has to say. I want to hear the voice of self. And again, after a while, you'll be able to discriminate better and better who talking. Okay? Thank you, Mark. Are you finished? Yeah, that was good what you said. Thank you.
And Dusty has your mic. Dusty, you have your mic open?
Yeah, self said innocence.
Okay, remember, I'm taking, sure, why not? But I'm also taking that I would be careful of innocence. I'd want to really kind of try to feel the more and more of that, because it's also very alive. I'm not saying it's not innocent, but I don't know. I just can't see like OSensei standing there with the self of innocence and looking the way he looked and the things happening the way they happened around. I'm not saying no. Let's continue. Being somebody.
Purity, pure.
Yeah, pure.
Still pure.
And then again, I would pursue it as we continue to do beats like, okay, pure, and self as pure. And what do you do? What do you know? Whatever. Okay. So again, as we play more, you won't get stopped by a one-word thing like peaceful or pure. A lot of people could stop there and go, oh, it's pure, and then figure that's it. Self is pure. Well, I'm looking for an active self, if you would, that is present actually in the world. There's where OSensei did great work, okay, to show it was a presence here and now. Don't go anywhere. And it's here, it's through the body, through this situation. It's here. Okay, it's not just some idea. Oh yeah, self is pure. Okay, yeah, sure, why not? But it's more. It's more. I want to show the activity of it, the oomph of it, I'm working a lot with Susan on the healing potential, the healing capability of self present in a sick body world. That's what we've been working lately. I try to see what the other self souls have to say about this, and trying to introduce this concept, see if they buy it, if it works, what the problem might be. So this inside, or as Amy said, this power, whatever word Amy used, this power that's here as first through the energy realm to the physical realm, including the world you're in. Do you follow any of that? All of that, I hope. Again, I want to respond to again, or Autumn, you're on. I saw your face.
Sensei, we have Ariane has her hand up.
Okay, Ariane has a hand.
Hi, Sensei. Thank
Hey,
you.
no,
Well, I'm going to my parents soon in Germany, and as you were leading us tonight, what came up was, can you feel the love that's always been? Here.
So again, let's give it the voice. It said, can't you feel the love? I've always been here, or it's always been here. Again, this is self, so I like to change it around from it said, that guy over there said, there's nothing wrong with that, but I like that. Come on, begin to practice. It's here, it's you, or before the you, self before the you. So I like to let it have a voice whenever I can, or voice as it voices. Does that come out all right? Is that too weird? Yeah. Seems to me, through the years, when I did a lot of practices of different energy dimensions, or even body feeling energy dimensions, whatever, and I'd ask people, okay, what's your character? What that character kind of say, or what's that character experience? And they kind of come over and, oh, that character over there said ... And I say, wait, no, you're the character. We were doing that level of things. You're the character. I wanted to hear the voice from the character. And they would too often come over here and tell me about him, what he said. So I kind of like the practice of best you can hearing the voice of whether it's a character or a finer level character, or eventually self that's through all of that. As best you can, I think it's a good trick. Okay? Bear with me.
And Sensei, Autumn is here.
Autumn, I forgot where we were. I forgot what we were into before, so what I call it in. Again, your thing. Oh, and that self that is present, let's stay with the word alive. And again, your thing, your purpose this time was to have that self present in the theatrical world. Maybe more than that, I don't know, I just did that piece of but this self present, to see how that theater actor world works when the self is first and foremost, how the rest of this stuff works. It's kind of similar to OSensei. I'm not telling you got to get to that level, but OSensei got to this level as a martial artist. But at this level, suddenly the radiation, the presence of that level self, let's say, and the martial artist was like, wow, okay, you're doing a very similar form. Did you follow any of that? If not, that's okay. We'll get back together another time. Not to put pressure on you, but that's so strong in your system. I just reminding you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like there was kind of my call off for the character, but then you have to trade that into.
And Autumn, could you please move closer to your microphone?
Yeah.
Enunciate.
I had to let go of even the character too, and it feels like there's a lot of the word is not correct, but light.
Light.
Mm.
If we're talking about self, quite likely it's common for it to show in a light form. Light.
Yeah.
But again, I don't mind double checking and going through that light, closing the curtains, opening the curtains at the next, if there is a next level, if there is a truer self behind the light, then so be it. If it isn't and the light is the answer, well, after a bit, the light will be so definite. Yes, okay, we'll see. We'll see. I'm just trying to remind people not to stop short. There's a tendency in the universe to have people stop short.
Does it keep going?
That's my thing. I'm a pusher. I'm a nag. I'm a nag. People out there who know me, and why didn't he compliment me? Because as soon as they say, hey, I did good as a brown belt, I go, next. And they want me to compliment them about how good they are. I'm not that socially developed. That's nice. Let's move on.
Thank you, Autumn.
Thank you. Oh boy. Spending a lot of time. Did I cover most? So listening is form. Sensing, whatever sensing means, sensing the presence of self. Okay, whatever you get out of that. Could be also sensing, so a quick moment, okay? Trading everything in, easy. And self is more present. Qualities. Self itself knows or has all your main qualities. Oh, Autumn, as an aside, this is why I picked up the beauty, the not just outward human beauty, the inner self beauty, and the other word was kind of presence. I forget what word was there. I forget, but some kind of boom presence. Because I picked it up from yourself. Okay. Anyway, qualities. And getting sense from self about qualities. Self. Could you show a quality? Of course, it's of mine. It's myself. Quality. Getting a lot of radiating, kind of fancy. I don't know if that's quality, but I'll hang out with it, enjoy it. It hit me back with what I just said. A lot of determination. Anyway, so listening, a sense of whatever that means, picking up on the qualities that self should be able to show, because self is the earlier first boss of things. So it knows what, or it decided it was part of what you came in on with those qualities. Okay, so self has within it, I don't know the right words right now, to show the qualities that are mainline, I use mainline 4 qualities. So that's another way you could pick it up. What else? Did I miss any? Bob, did I miss any? We talked about this.
I think you got them all, Sensei.
Okay. Keisha, we talked about this, and that any other?
Yeah, the one word that comes to me that I think you and I also talked about is intuit or intuition, which is direct knowing before conscious reasoning. And that has that quality of direct knowing in a field of trust, and the radiance is self-communication. So
And again,
intuition, not as a verb so much, but as a happening.
And again, with more practice, people, as we get this thing here, this self more present, because I make an approach, clear, and boom, self, and I make another approach. So it has a chance to activate itself because I'm clearing the stage. There we go, I like that. I'm clearing the stage so the self can have the fuller of the stage, clearing the stage some more. So self can have a beautiful, clean stage, be more fully present in all of it, in the better, for lack of words, level of itself. Don't know what word to use there. We'll dialogue that another day.
Love it.
I'm finishing up. Anything that'll drive you crazy between now and next week?
Sensei, I really like what you said about clearing the stage for self. And a lot of times for me, the clearing happens, it happens without forcing it to happen, without trying to make it happen. Suddenly I realize, wow, I'm in a clear space and self appears. For me, a good example is I'm planting my vegetables in the garden, and suddenly around this nurturing of setting plants in the soil, self appeared. It was more of self-planting and nurturing, me doing some kind of work. And it was a wonderful thing. It just opened me
I
up.
love Tom. I love Tom.
It was so moving. It was just really moving. Yeah.
Yeah. It shouldn't be work per se. Probably worth another whole discussion another day.
Right.
A lot of things are natural, but because we said, I don't know, twist unnatural, like seemingly work at things that are very natural. Oh, sensei, Nadeau. It's so easy. How many times he told me? I believed him. But for me, it's been a lot of work. But I believe him. Someplace in there is bing, bing. So we're just trying to break it down, trying to get better at it, faster at it, cut to the chase, so to speak. So working with this self thing is more cutting to the chase. We need, again, another discussion when we get into positioning. I'm trying to remind myself that we settle down, square away, whatever word you want to use there. We're positioning as we settle down for self, and then self will utilize, for lack of a word, its presence in that package, that unit that you use to get to that level. It underlies that level. It charges that level. It's the underlying bang of things. If I drift off too far. Any last thing before I head to the sushi bar again? It's hard being a bachelor here. Gotta go eat out. Oh, horrible. Hey.
Condolences.
Yes, thank you.
I think, Sensei, that we're at the end of the evening. Thank you so much for trying to explain the unexplainable and
Yes.
put into words that which can't be communicated through words.
Yeah, Sensei mentioned about like that. He says, it's a bitch. It's basically what he said. It's a bitch.
Well,
We'll do
perhaps
the
we
best
should just
we
let
can.
that be the last comment for the evening, Sensei.
Okay. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Hey.
Thank you, Nadeau Sensei.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you,
Thank you for
Sensei.
your.
Good
Thank
night,
you,
all.
Bob.
Okay.
Thank you, Sensei.
Thank you, Sensei.
Thank you, Sensei.
Thank
Dominica.
you. Sensei.
Doitashimasu.
Thank you.